Hi, welcome to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Maria Andrea, and it is Monday, June 3rd. I had a terrible time yesterday, Sunday, when I was trying to record this week in review video. I couldn't get it to load, so I lost the video, and I'm doing a retake on Monday to recap last week. So I am recapping from May 26th to yesterday, Sunday, June 2nd. And this is just to try to stay in contact and talk about books sooner rather than later when I read them, and just try to connect with community and build community here on my channel. So that's the purpose of this video. And I typically start out with highs and lows. So my highlight of last week, Monday through Sunday, was Supper Club. I hosted Supper Club at my house yesterday, Sunday, June 2nd. My friend came over. We had a really delicious Indian vegan meal. She made a chickpea curry soup and basmati rice. And over the basmati rice, I served chickpea korma. And what else did we have? I cannot pronounce the Indian name, but they're like date balls covered in dry coconut. And I made iced chai tea and a strawberry cardamom lassi. And I'm really excited because I had quite a bit of lassi left over, so I made popsicles, and it's delicious. Um, and all in all, it was a mellow weekend. So that's the highlight of last week. The lows is that it is still so hot. I am grieving the end of gardening season for now. It's just too hot to go out and plant or do anything really major in the garden. Um, just trying to keep things alive, and we'll get back to gardening in the fall. But I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to do everything I wanted this year in the garden. Community posts. Yesterday, I posted, or maybe it was closer to midnight, I posted about the technical difficulties, and I went ahead and I posted pictures of the Supper Club food just to stay connected because I wasn't able to load a video and talk about Supper Club. Do you like Indian food? Let me know in the comments if you like Indian food or if you are part of a Supper Club. I'd love to know that too. You know, going back to Supper Club, so we skipped the month of May. In April, we ate Filipino food. We cooked and ate Filipino food, and then I read the next book in my Cozy Mysteries series, written by Filipino author Mia P. Manansala. And now I kind of like to add a book to the theme of the month, being Indian. I think I'm going to go on to the next book in the Sujata Massey series, the Perveen Mistry series, and I'm at the Bombay Prince. That's my next book in that series. So I'm probably going to try to reach that goal of reading through the Bombay Prince this month. Excuse me. Next month it's going to be China. We're going to have Chinese food, and I'll be interested if you have any Chinese or Chinese American authors that you recommend. Let me know. I would love to explore all options for that one. Tags. Last week I posted 2 tags. I posted the this or that tag, and I was tagged by Ellen at Ellen Made Book Club for that tag. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes on my lap. And I also posted all the rainy day tags. So I combined all the rainy day tags that I was tagged to do in the month of April, and I posted them as spring rain and spring flowers rainy day recommendations all in one. I was tagged by Katherine at Raspberry Beats, excuse me, and Pat at Book Chat with Pat to do these tags, and I hope you enjoyed them. What I've been reading and what I've read. Let's start with what I've read. Last week I finished, last week I forgot, not this last week, but the previous, I forgot to mention a book that I had read. I read Girl on Film, and where did I leave it? Here it is. I finished this book 2 weeks ago, but I forgot to mention it in my weekend review. So Girl on Film is a graphic memoir written by Cecil Castellucci, and it's a coming of age story and a chasing a dream story. So from a very young age, Cecil Castellucci knows that she wants to be a cinematographer, cinema director, and she chases her dream, and it is a difficult journey. It is gritty. There are struggles, and we get to see that through her eyes. Excuse me. And through her story, she's also weaving a thread of acknowledging cognitive science, cognitive psychology. Her parents are scientists, and she, in the midst, there's this thread that kind of weaves through this memoir in which she's having conversations with her father about memory and how we construct memories, how we recall memory, like memory recall. And it kind of alludes to the fact that when we tell our story, we don't remember it fully, and we just have bits and pieces that we've stored as memory, and other people might read our story or hear our story and have other things to add to it to give it brighter color. So I thought that was interesting. I'm a psych nerd. I studied psychology. So I liked the way that was acknowledged and woven through her memoir. There's some name dropping in here. I thought that was interesting too. So, all in all, I enjoyed the memoir. Excuse me. I picked this up in February for Filmtastic February, hosted by Annie at Obscure Book Adventures, and I'm really glad that I participated in that reading event and that I picked up this book. So thank you, Annie, for hosting that. That was a really great reading event. And I also finished Writer and Mamon. So this is a book I was talking about that I picked up in the month of April after doing our Filipino supper club. So Mia P. Manansala is a Filipino American author, and Murder and Mamon is the fourth book in the Tita Rosie Kitchen Mystery series. And originally, Mia P. Manansala was given a deal for 3 books, and then she was allowed a fourth book. And I just researched it over the weekend after I finished this. I looked her up, and she has a fifth book in this series coming. So I'm looking forward to it. It's set in the fall. It's set to be released in November. So it'll be perfect timing, and I'm looking forward to continuing with the series. I'm expecting that in the book 5, by book 4, Leela's already kind of grown up a bit, and her voice is starting to mature. And I'm expecting that book 5 will see her in a different phase of her life. And I'm really excited to see the growth in this character. Leela Macapagal is the main character. She's the sleuth that we follow. I don't agree with her all the time. I'm reading this and I'm like, no, Leela, don't say that. Don't do that. But she does it anyway because she's a sleuth, and that's what a sleuth is going to do. I'm going to go and confront the killer by themselves. So, anyway, yeah, I I'm enjoying the series. It's very likable characters. She has a great voice. She's a great heroine, and I also really enjoy her family and her friends. Her besties are amazing. They're a really great friend group. So, and they're entrepreneurs, and I love that. So anyway, this is a fun continuation to the Rosie Kitchen Mystery series. And the recipes in these books are always like so good. Okay. I also read The Bandit Queens by Shroff. I don't remember the author's first name. I think the last name is Shroff. I will post the author's name in the description box. I listened to the audiobook of The Bandit Queens and I loved it. It was so much fun to read. I laughed out loud. It felt like a slapstick comedy sitcom series. As I was listening to it, I could see it. I could picture it on the screen. I think it would be a great series to be adapted. I really enjoyed it all in all. I read this as a group read with Ellen, an Ellen Made Book Club, and Melinda at a Web of Stories. They each had the same group read on their channels, and so it worked out that I could read it in both groups at the same time. I am still currently reading Savage Beauty by Nancy. I have it right here. This is going to be due at the library this week. Nancy Milford. And this is a biography of the poet and playwright Edna St. Vincent Millay. I'm really enjoying it. I have the library book and I'm also going in between with the audiobook. It's a big book, so it's taking me a little while. Excuse me. I'm also currently reading Sabrina and Corina by Fajardo-Anstine. I always get her last names mixed up. Sabrina and Corina is a collection of short stories, and I am in love. I love this collection. I love Gali's writing. I am going to continue reading everything that she writes. I think she is an amazing writer. I love her work so much. So it's a great book. The next Gali Fajardo-Anstine book that I'm going to be picking up in the month of June, after I finish Sabrina and Corina, is Women of Light. I think it's a great Western themed book, so it's one of my book picks for June on the Range. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I am still making my way through the ebook of Marina. I listened to the audiobook and I finished it a few weeks back, but I am still slowly going through the ebook and trying to annotate. I'm supposed to be doing a collaborative video book review about Marina with Ellen at Ellen Me Book Club, and I'm trying to really take my time with thinking things through. So I'm still going through that ebook. It's a great book. I really enjoyed the audiobook, and I'm also enjoying kind of catching up through the ebook. I really enjoyed the story. Marina is written by Carlos Ruiz Zafon, and it is a great book, and I can't wait to talk more about it, hopefully soon. I did not DNF any books. Now, in terms of community connection, I really like this segment in this weekly video series. Community connection is where I get to talk to you about something that happened in the comments, something that happened outside of BookTube with like another content creator, maybe a conversation that was sparked because of a video I created, or maybe it was a video that I watched on another channel that then led to some meaningful connection or like a connection that I'm like really grateful for. So one that I want to highlight this week is I follow Ellen from Ellen Made Book Club. I love her channel. She's becoming a good friend here on BookTube. We watch each other's videos. We comment on each other's videos. She's excellent. She's like really sweet and kind and supportive, and I love watching her content. She's very creative, and she's so good at this video making thing. I wish I was as good as she is. She's just so good at making videos. And she posted a tag video about International BookTube. and she tagged and mentioned international booktubers. I immediately checked out all those channels, subscribed to all of them. They all have great content. Highly recommend that tag video that she did. You can go to her channel, subscribe, watch her video, and then follow a whole bunch of other international booktubers that are just amazing. And one of those um, booktubers that she tagged was Cat, a curious cat. And so I started following her channel. And this last weekend, she posted a video about her goals for the month of June. And she said one of her goals was to reach 100 subscribers. When I watched the video, she was at 74. I hope she's almost to 100, but I wanted to bring that up because I just crossed that milestone, and I'm really grateful for that, and I want that for her. So if you have some time and you want to support a lovely booktuber, you can check out her channel. She recently traveled to Spain. She has really good content, and I think she's a great follow. So I wanted to just connect her to more subscribers, and hopefully she'll get to cross that milestone and we'll get to celebrate with her. Podcasts, I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks, so I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts in the last week. Recipe of the week. So I don't have it here with me. I mentioned that I made strawberry cardamom lassies. I will take a picture of the cookbooks that I used and post those in my community post in this next few days. But I made cardamom lassi, uh, strawberry cardamom lassi, and they were so good. And I want to share that recipe. I don't have the cookbook in front of me. I usually like to tell you the recipe. It's super simple. I use soy milk and strawberries and fresh strawberries. You can also use frozen. Cardamom, sugar, blended everything. It was delicious. I'll I'll post the recipe in the description box, and I'll take a picture of the cookbook. I'm so sorry. I wish I had it here with me. I did yesterday. um, and I made them into popsicles. So it says it serves 6 glasses, I think. The recipe serves 6. My friend and I each had an 8-ounce glass of the mango lassi, and I had a whole bunch left over, enough to make a half a dozen popsicles. So it's good. It's really good, and you'll be able to drink it up with a few friends, or drink a couple of glasses and then make some yummy popsicles for the hot weather. If you're trying to weather through the heat like I am, it might be a great recipe to try. And I am looking forward to summer reading. I have so many fun reading plans, and there are so many great reading events here on BookTube. I think summer might just be my favorite time on BookTube with all of the reading events. Excuse me. So there's Big Book Summer, hosted by Sue Jackson. I'm going to be reading Dune. And then I recently learned, over the weekend, that there is a readathon called Dune in June. Joshua Crebo helped me to realize that, and I started following Sean D. Stanfast this weekend just to try to keep up with the timeline that they're following. I'm giving myself all summer to read Dune, but I think the timeline might help me keep motivated to try to keep up. I'm also participating in June on the Range, Rogue Edition, kind of not sticking to the event guidelines. I'm kind of taking the theme of Western literature, American Southwest, and the Western frontier, and the natural world of the West, the wildness, the the wildness of the West, the arid, the desert, the dry, the politics, the cultural collisions, the cultural confrontations, trying to experience the West through the lens of all the people. And I'm trying to make room in conversations about the West to look at colonization and Western expansion through the eyes of indigenous native tribal groups, and also through Chicano, Mexican, and Mexican American perspectives. I'm going to do my Thursday night poetry series. I'm going to dedicate that to Western poetry and discussion of Western poets. So I'm really, really excited to share all that with you this month. I'm also looking forward to the historical fiction readathon hosted by Shelley at Shelley Swearingen, and this readathon was brought to my attention by Melinda at A Web of Stories, and her enthusiasm for this readathon was so contagious I couldn't resist. I think it's going to work nicely with June on the Range. I think I have a historical fiction perspective. And I think that same book that I have in mind is also fitting for Vintage June. It is a vintage book, and it's about the West, and it is historical fiction. So check, check, check. I'm also interested in participating in Pride Month reading. So I'm going to be starting The Princess and the Grilled Cheese graphic novel, and that's been on my queue for a little bit. It's part of my Read Like the Belchers, and especially like the Tina book that I'm trying to read. I'm looking forward to that. And Jane Austen July is coming up, and I am probably going to pick up Sense and Sensibility. And Giallo July, I just learned about this last weekend, and it is hosted by Alex at the Bookubus, Kelsey at Slime and Slashers, and Bert at Story Time. And I'm really excited for this event. And then finally, Garb August in August. There may be other readathons that pop up that I'm not aware of just yet, but all of these readathons are really exciting. And Garb August, of course, is hosted by Ollie at Criminali, or it is the mastermind project for Ollie at Criminali. And there's always a bunch of co-hosts, so there's going to be a lot of Garb August fun this summer. So that is it. That's what I'm looking forward to. And this week, the nonprofit that I created is having a fundraiser, and we are having a bake sale. So there's going to be a lot of baking in my house this week, and I'm super excited. Thank you so much for watching. Hasta la próxima.